Yeah, if you could just sign in too.
We're ready? Okay. Good evening. My name is Steve Kelly. I'm the treasurer of the Ulster County Industrial Development Agency, the agency. I'm also the hearing officer for this public hearing being held in conjunction with the project, which is the subject of this public hearing. We'd like to start by having everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I would like to highlight the mission of the agency. The mission statement of the agency is the following. The mission of the Ulster County Industrial Development Agency is to advance the job opportunities, general prosperity, and long-term economic vitality of Ulster County residents by targeting tax incentives, bonds, and other assistance to foster creation and attraction of new businesses and the retention and expansion of existing businesses. So I already introduced myself. This is Hillary Nichols, who is the executive director of the IDA. And this is Shannon Wagner, who is our counsel, and Natalie, who will be running all of our communications tonight. And I forgot your name, I'm sorry. Donna Wells, who is the reporter. And I'll ask everyone else to introduce themselves.
My name is Mohammed Surda. I'm a part of the project that we're here tonight speaking about.
My name is Rodney Sarda. I'm the president of the project.
Thanks, sir. Dan?
Dan Ahouse. I'm part of the development team.
All right. And Mr. Bader?
Yeah, Mike Baden, Director of Planning, Zoning, and Code Enforcement for the Village of New Paltz.
And then there is no one else, so that's the end of our introduction. Today we are holding this public hearing to allow citizens to make a statement for the record relating to the involvement of the agency with a project, a proposed project, for the benefit of Chestnut Square Group and New York NY Inc., a New York business corporation, the company. I would like to note that as required by New York state law, the agency is live streaming this public hearing. We have also made arrangements for a stenographer, we introduced, to be present in order to accurately record a record of the public comments received at this public hearing. Shannon Wagner of Hodgkins Russ LLP, counsel to the agency, will provide information on the agency's legal authority to hold this public hearing, a description of the proposed project, the purpose of this public hearing, and the agency's next steps. Once Shannon is finished, I will then open up the public hearing for comments.
Thanks, Steve. The provisions of Chapter 1030 of the Laws of 1969 of New York, constituting Title I of Article 18-A of the General Municipal Law, Chapter 24 of the Consolidated Laws of New York as amended, and Chapter 787 of the 1976 Laws of the State of New York as amended, codified as Section 923 of said General Municipal Law, collectively the Act, authorize the agency to promote, develop, encourage, and assist in the acquiring, constructing, reconstructing, improving, maintaining, and equipping and furnishing of manufacturing, warehousing, research, commercial, and industrial facilities, among others. The proposed project consists of the following: the acquisition of an interest in a parcel of land containing approximately 0.6 acres and located at 85 North Chestnut Street in the town and village of New Paltz, Ulster County, New York, the land, together with the existing buildings located thereon, collectively the existing facility, the demolition of the existing facility, the construction on the land of certain additional facilities, collectively the facility, and the acquisition and installation therein and thereon of certain machinery, equipment, and other personal property, collectively the equipment, and everything collectively together the project facility. All of the foregoing to be owned and operated by the company or an affiliate thereof as a mixed-use facility containing affordable housing, handicap accessible and other housing units, office space, and other directly and indirectly related activities. the granting of certain financial assistance within the meaning of Section 854.14 of the Act with respect to the foregoing, including potential exemptions from certain sales and use taxes, real property taxes, real estate transfer taxes, and mortgage reporting taxes, collectively the financial assistance, and the lease with an obligation to purchase or sale of the project facility to the company or such other person as may be designated by the company and agreed upon by the agency. Pursuant to Section 859-A2 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, prior to the agency providing any financial assistance of more than $100,000 to any project, the agency, among other things, must hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 859-A of the Act with respect to said project. Since the proposed financial assistance to be provided by the agency with respect to the proposed project may exceed $100,000, then prior to providing any financial assistance of more than $100,000 to the proposed project, the agency must hold a public hearing on the nature and location of the project facility and the proposed financial assistance to be provided by the agency with respect to the proposed project. After consideration of the application submitted to the agency by the company, the members of the agency adopted a resolution on July 16, 2025, authorizing the executive director of the agency to conduct this public hearing with respect to the proposed project pursuant to Section 859-A2 of the Act. The executive director of the agency caused notice of this public hearing to be mailed on July 24, 2025, to the chief executive officers of Ulster County, the town and village of New Paltz, and the New Paltz Central School District, collectively the affected tax jurisdictions, and published on July 25, 2025, in the Daily Freeman, a newspaper of general circulation available to the residents of the affected tax jurisdictions. In addition, the executive director of the agency caused notice of this public hearing to be posted on July 25, 2025, on the agency's website and on a public bulletin board located at the New Paltz Village Hall, located at 25 Plattekill Avenue in the village and town of New Paltz, Ulster County, New York. Copies of the notice of this public hearing are available at the front of the room. The purpose of this public hearing is to solicit input with respect to the proposed project. We are not here to answer questions, although in the course of the hearing we will consider questions if we have the information to answer the question and there is sufficient time to consider such question. Now, unless there is any objection, I am going to suggest waiving the full reading of the notice of this public hearing and instead request that the full text of the notice of the public hearing be inserted into the record of the public hearing. The agency will consider the proposed project at a subsequent meeting of the agency, currently scheduled for August 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m. And at such meeting, the agency will also consider the comments received at this public hearing. Such meeting, like all meetings of the agency, will be open to the general public. The notice of this public hearing indicated that written comments could be addressed to Hillary Nichols, Executive Director. At this time, the agency has not received any written comments. I will now return the floor to Steve for the purpose of recognizing any citizens in attendance wishing to make a public comment.
Thank you, Shannon. If there's a representative of any of the affected tax jurisdictions, I don't think there are any. You're not representing Mr. Baden in that respect, are you?
No, I'm just,
Okay.
not representing.
So there are none. So we'll move on from there. We have some remarks from the company.
Yeah. My father and I, Roddy, were very grateful for the idea and being interested in this project. We've worked hard for many years to bring it to this stage, and we're looking forward to bringing this project to the community and providing fair and affordable housing to our local neighbors and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now we have an open public hearing, and I will open the floor at 5:39 o'clock p.m. And by way of operating rules, if you wish to make a public comment, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Please wait to be recognized. Once recognized, please stand and state your name and address for the record. And everyone will have up to 3 minutes. I might give them more because it seems to be a little sparsely populated tonight. So is there anyone in attendance today who would like to make a public comment? Mr. Baden.
Yeah, speaking not as a private citizen, but as employee of the Village of New Paltz as their planning and zoning and code enforcement director. One of my many functions in that role is working as a consultant and planner to the planning board. This project received an approval originally in 2021 from the planning board. Prior to my employment, it again came back for a second renewal, a second review, which was approved in May of 24. Our approvals are good for 1 year, so that approval that was given in May of 24 expired in May of 25. We received a letter from the project team that'll be reviewed by the planning board tomorrow night at their meeting as to what potential next steps could be. It could range from them offering an extension to having to start the review process over. But having, excuse me, having been reviewed twice already, I'm certain that all the documents are in place and it would be a relatively short duration for a new review if that becomes necessary. So I'm mostly speaking just to make the IDA aware. The applicant is certainly aware. We had sent him a notice making him aware of this. But other than that, I don't have any comments about the project itself. It's more just process, and I wanted to make the IDA aware. So.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to have a comment? Going once, twice? All right. So if there are no further comments, I will now close this public meeting at 5:42 p.m.